Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another What's Up Wednesday. This is a special occasion. Yeah, Christmas has passed, New Year's has passed. So what makes it a special occasion? We've got this character, the YouTube star in the house. Nick Schmidt, good evening, sir.
Scott, how are you, man? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. Thank you for being here. Now, this is how special you are, ladies and gentlemen, and Go Small, Live Large, at large. This is actually date night for him and Mrs. Schmidt, and he's like, I can carve out like 15 minutes. Yes. So don't put me on the do not disturb Mrs. Schmidt for a couple of minutes. There you go. Timer's running.
I started the timer.
Thank you again for spending some time with us. We got an exciting show. Nick is going to give us some tips, and this is kind of our agenda. Let me just show this to you. We wanted him on because this is kind of like the Christmas in the RV space, right? The Florida RV SuperShow.
Yes.
It's the largest show in the country. It's in kind of warm Florida. And we're going to talk about the activities. He's going to run us through some tips on RV shopping, what to expect at the Super Show. Then he's going to jump off for his date night. And then I'm going to go through some Super Show tips. Raise your hand if you've been to the Super Show. Raise your other hand if you want to go and are planning on going. That would be super great, right? Because it's a little overwhelming, right, Nick?
It is. It is definitely overwhelming. I mean, that's going to be, the biggest thing is that you can get overwhelmed very easily, very fast, and something to kind of slow it down for you is, it's the single biggest tip. Just to take a deep breath when you're walking around.
I'm planning on walking about 100 miles. Yes. And we're going to talk about tickets and parking and stuff like that here in a few minutes. But let's there's a special if you can just let us know where you are watching from, what your local fuel price is, and then what your local weather is. We always like to see that, and it's kind of fun. Got a great group in here tonight. This is awesome. And this is the question format. If you got a specific question for me or Nick, it's 3 stars, 3 question marks. That helps us see it more readily. And if you want to have a comment that is more readily seen, it's 3 stars, 3 exclamation points. What do you think, Nick? We're kind of organized here at the What's Up Wednesday.
Hey, you are a professional at this, but you forgot the most important thing, what we have to start with. I got my bourbon out here for you. How do I show you this? There it is.
Ooh, let's get a zoom in on that. Hold on.
That's a Calumet 16. It is from Kentucky. It's a horse farm. And I have a real special glass. I got this as a gift from Road Trek in Westphalia. Gave me a bourbon glass that says Sunshine State RVs. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that, Scott?
Just a little bit. Yep. We see you, right? And there you go.
Road Trek, Westphalia. So this was a very cool gift from Kylie at Road Trek. And, this glass has seen a lot of very good bourbon. I can promise you that.
Well, I can't let you drink alone. Maybe Kylie can hook me up. I know. What I'm doing is this is actually pretty good. Coppercraft out of Michigan, Holland, Michigan. What? Cheers! Might not have that thing open for a while. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. I gotta have a little ice in mine, Scott. I'm not as hardcore as you, man. I need mine to be a little watered down.
Woo! That is good stuff. Kind of expensive. It's not 16 years though. That's for sure.
I don't know what this thing's been doing for 16 years, but that's right. Whatever it's been doing.
I know, right? Okay, the next big thing we have to do is this is a special announcement, special request. So I'm going to ask you to bear with me for a minute. I was honored. I was contacted, and there is a focus group going on to chart the future of the Class B motorhome experience. Who doesn't think we can improve these things just a little bit here and there, right, Nick? Yes. So what they have asked me to do is show this URL to you, and what they're asking for. This is, again, a focus group company. If you have purchased a new Class B RV within the past 3 years, you are eligible. They're looking for females, preferably, but they'll take some of us dudes. And what's kind of cool is so everybody's open that has purchased a new Class B RV within 3 years, and it's an online situation. You have a chance to make an impact. You can make $100 sitting in your jammies. Yeah, right. And this is the URL. So take a screenshot. You need to type this in exactly. https://midfieldco.com/focus group 2024. And if you can do that today or tomorrow, they're closing this out and they need just a few more folks. So help us out and show the power of Go Small, Live Large. Let's blow up their form count, right?
Yes. You got some loyal followers. Let me tell you, you have some loyal followers, Scott.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm blessed to have this amazing audience. So there you go. All right, let's talk about activities going on at the Super Show, Nick, because our timer is ticking down. So I want to kind of show this. It's a bit of an eye chart. I apologize, but I've circled or squared in red your displays, Nick, with a red star next to it. Did I get them all or did I miss any?
So there's one on there, the Midwest Heritage. It is I don't know if you have a mouse. I don't know how you can even.
Oh yeah, yeah, right here.
It's right there where it says MW Automotive is where it is. Right next to the Westphalia one. I don't know if you can show that with your mouse. I can't.
It's a night chart. I apologize. So this is Chinook RV.
Yep.
Okay, and then this, ladies and gentlemen, is Westphalia. And then what Nick's talking about is a section right next to it, and that's the Midwest Automotive.
Yep, Midwest. We'll have the Midwest Heritage there. We'll have Westphalia, Chinook, Road Trek, Coachman,
and this one's Road Trek right here. You're kind of, and then this one is the Coachman down here.
Yes, Coachman's down at the bottom. Coachman's gonna have the Nova and the Pixel, which is their brand new kind of premiere that we're kind of having at the Super Show, the Coachman Pixel, which is this is the first time anybody anywhere is going to see the Pixel. No one's ever seen it in person. It's only been like a couple of videos, but this is the first time anyone's going to see it anywhere.
So I'm going to kind of cover this in a few minutes on Super Show tips, but you can see they're kind of grouped together. So if you're wandering way over here in the South 40, you're not going to find many vans because they're all big trailers and what have you. So I would recommend printing out the map and then taking it with you because the internet there is overwhelmed by all the people. So all right.
They typically recommend entering in through gate 1 and then kind of you walk through the building where the Prevosts are. Then once you kind of walk down that middle alleyway there, you'll see after a couple booths on the left, you'll see Road Trek right there. And Scott, that's where you're going to be spending most of the week, right?
Yep, that's exactly right.
And then off to the right, you'll see Westphalia. And then there's a lot. Thor's going to have theirs there, Leisure Travel, Pleasure Way, Storyteller, Winnebago. Every single RV and van known to man is going to be at the Tampa RV Super Show. Every single one.
And that's pretty cool. So those are the ones in black boxes. So again, it's all pretty concentrated. We'll go into this in a little bit more detail, but I just want to make sure you see where Nick and the teams are going to be. I'm going to spend a lot of my time right here. It might trickle over to Westphalia, but a lot of time right here saying hi, right?
Yes.
It's a good spot.
Oh, it's the best. It's like it is on like Main, like right at the intersection, right there on Main Street.
So that's pretty cool. And then so joining us in the booths, there's Nick and his team. So if you've never met Nick in person, he's just as handsome in real life as he is on YouTube. and he's got a great team. You got Corey coming, and Bethany's going to be there, and you got the whole team, which is awesome. And who else is kind of floating around your displays?
Yeah, so Austin from our team will be there. Brandon will be there. Angie will be there. Everybody from our team will be there. But then there's the guys like Nick Recchio from Coachman will be there. Len McDougall, the head guy over at Road Trek, will be there floating between Road Trek and Westphalia. Canada Mike. Everybody knows Canada Mike. He's been in the Class B industry for the last 20 years. He'll be there. Some of the CEO from Road Trek coming in from France, he'll be in the display as well. You know what I love about that guy is that whatever ideas or whatever we have going on, I mean, he makes sure to come in and say, Nick, pour it on me. Tell me the good, tell me the bad, tell me the ugly. And so it's pretty cool to kind of walk him through some of the vans and have that conversation with him. And then Hank from Stranger Palooza, he will be there as well. Peter from Rover Gear, who's a good friend of Scott's, a good friend of ours. And then obviously our infamous leader here of the Go Small, Live Large family.
Yeah, I'm going to be there the whole week.
The patriarch will be putting his time in.
And I am putting my time in. Nick is making me stay the whole week. I've never done this before, so I'm super excited. It's going to be a very different experience, even though this is my 6th year because of that. So we did carve out a little time. So if you can only pick a day or 2 to go, by the way, your tickets include pass entrance for 2 days. We're going to do a special Go Small, Live Large roundup at the Westphalia booth at 10 a.m. on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, we're doing a roundup. I call them roundups, meet and greet, roundup on Friday at 10 a.m. at the Road Trek. Isn't this a handsome van? I just love this thing.
I love that color. I love the blackout on the grill, the black wheels, those fake windows on top, so you have a Road Trek. Like, there's just so much cool about it.
I can't. Yeah, it's so much. And are you bringing this one, the Spitfire color? That's a Spitfire, right?
We are.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And then on Industry Day, and this is kind of just for media people and geeks like me and the industry, right, Nick? The public is not allowed. That opening day,
not allowed.
The 15th of January. But Peter's going to be with me again this year. We're going to be roaming around some of those other booths. We'll probably swing by and say hi to Nick. I don't know. Don't want to overstay my welcome, though. To show you some of the new stuff. Some of you have already sent me messages that Winnebago is releasing 2 new Travado floor plans. Sunshine State carries Winnebago products, right?
We do. Just not at the Tampa SuperShow, but we do.
Yeah. So you'll be seeing a lot of live stuff, which I'm really excited about. And any other thoughts on activities? Are you doing any giveaways or back massages, or you got yoga going on, or what's up?
Yeah. So pretty cool. We're gonna be giving away some e-bikes. So we have partnered with Electric, which is one of the biggest e-bike manufacturers in the country. And we're going to be giving away 2 brand new electric e-bikes at our display. So there'll be a raffle. There'll be a QR code you can scan. You fill out, 2 or 3 questions, and then on Sunday or Monday we'll be doing a drawing for someone to win free e-bikes. We're also going to have them on display on bike racks in all of our displays, so that way people can see what they look like, how they fit, and all that. So the Coachman display, Chinook, the Midwest display we will have the actual bikes in there. The QR code will be on all our displays, so that way you can win some e-bikes. I think these are like $2,500 each now, Scott, which is really expensive. But
that's not your basic Schmidt.
You get free ones.
You
get free ones, yes.
And maybe need a van to go with your new e-bike. I don't know.
Hey, if somebody twists my arm, I might throw in a free e-bike if they buy a van in Tampa. And I'm only saying that to the Go Small, Live Large group. This is not going to be advertised, but if you mention that you watch this and you buy an RV in Tampa, we can see what we can do about including a free e-bike. Right, Scott?
And I'll be happy to sign it.
There we go. An e-bike signed by Scott Watson.
I'll put a Go Small, Live Large Lily sticker on it. That's what we'll do.
I'll drink to that.
Yes, sir. Cheers. This is fun. Thanks for being here. We got a huge group in here. This is great.
Yeah. So we'll be doing that. We're going to have lunch, pass around from time to time. We're going to have So also another thing in the Road Trek and the Westphalia displays, we're going to be giving away a free trip. The details will be released at the display. So if you come to the Road Trek display, come to the Westphalia display, there's a QR code in there as well. And there will be a free trip that is being given away there. Just for coming and checking out both displays, you get points, and it's kind of a cool game that we're gonna be doing. This is my first year doing it, so I'm pretty excited to be a part of it. And I love games. I'm a game guy, so I like competing. And they told me I'm not allowed to win the game or the trip, so I'm a little discouraged about that. But I think that some lucky person is going to win a free trip from Road Trek in Westphalia. So I don't know all the details. I don't know if there's going to be 2 trips, one in Road Trek, one in Westphalia, or there's just one. We'll figure all that out there. But there are some cool things being given away at the Road Trek and the Westphalia displays as well. So, it's a fun time. It is like going to the world's greatest fair. What was that big fair they used to do back in the 50s?
World Expo.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, back in the Chicago days, right?
Yes.
Oh
I don't
God.
even know what it was called, like the World's Fair or something. That's kind of the feel it has to me. There's like people on stilts walking around and people with dogs and little, like a guy playing 12 instruments at once and all kinds of cool stuff. So, you have to come by the Road Trek and Westphalia display, A, to see Scott, and B, to register to win a free trip. And where the trip is going, I don't know, but we will get you all the details.
Road Trek's going to send you the Canadian Northwest Territory in February to check out.
The polar vortex is going to get you.
Well, Nick, we're going to run here in just a minute, but let's get some advice from somebody that knows what they're talking about. If somebody's coming to the Super Show, do you buy the van, you drive it off the display, and off you go? Or how does it work? Any best tips for people so they can just be prepared mentally and otherwise?
Yeah, so as long as you don't run into any of the people, you can drive it out of the display. There's about 100,000 people that come to the show, and so you're like maneuvering through all the other displays. But no, I'm joking. 100% joking. No RVs. Once an RV gets into the Tampa Super Show, it is not allowed to be brought out for the whole 5 days. So it is stuck in there for the entire time. People ask this question a lot, and I'm thinking through different tips and different things. The best thing, when you're coming to the show is to kind of have 5 or 6 booths you want to visit with the kind of vans you want to see kind of mapped out. And then, oddly enough, you're going to find one that you weren't counting on liking or seeing, and then you'll end up adding that to your list, and you'll check those out too. About half of our customers pay cash for the RVs, the other half finance. So if you are financing, sometimes I recommend people to kind of explore that a little bit before they come. Just kind of go online, look at, see what your credit is, see kind of, think through what you can afford, what you want to spend. We have credit applications there in our displays. I'm sure all the other displays do too. But, a typical down payment for us in the display, when let's say you go to a display, you run into Scott sells you on the lifestyle. You're like, I want a van. And then Canada Mike sells you on the Road Trek Zion Slumber, let's say. And you decide, I want that Road Trek Zion Slumber. And then you sit down with me, because I will be sitting in the Road Trek display a lot of the times. We come up with all the details, and then we'll have you apply for financing right there. A typical deposit at the show is about $5,000, so be ready to put that on a credit card. But then a down payment for your financing is usually 10% of the RV cost. And interest rates usually in the 6% range over 20 years. You can kind of calculate what your payment's going to be. And then you kind of get, work the deal from there. So some people want to put down 20%, 30, 40, 50% to keep their payments a little lower. They don't need to borrow that much money. There's no reason to. Some people want to borrow as much money as possible. It's just everybody has a different school of thought on that. So, there's definitely not a wrong way or a right way to do it. All of that's available at the show, and, just kind of keeping things organized is a big piece of advice that I give at the shows.
Yeah. And one thing, motorhomes can be financed up to 20 years. Is that correct?
20 years. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. It keeps I'm on the 20-year plan. I've got about 100 years to go, but
keeps your payment down, and you can double up. Sometimes once a year people get a big check from something, they can just put a big check towards it. There's no prepayment penalties. So Scott, if you won the lotto next week, you can just pay it off and there's no penalties.
We have a bake sale. Go Small Level Arts bake sale, and we'll pay off Lily.
Yes.
I actually threatened to do that a year or two ago, but the money's just so cheap. I'm like, yeah. So now we like to talk about this. You're choosing probably a second most expensive thing in your life after your house is an RV, and you want to make the right decision there, but you really want to make the right decision, I think, for the dealership. And there's all kinds of salespeople at this Super Show, right? Some of them are chasing it down, and I think it's just one of the great things that makes Sunshine so legit, and why we love working with you, and why you have so many customers from this audience, because you really treat the customer after the sale as good or better than at the sale. And I think that makes a giant difference. So,
and what's cool, Scott, is that just because you get a good deal and you buy at a show doesn't mean you get a like a lesser experience buying from Sunshine State RVs, because you're still going to get the same warranty from the manufacturer. And then no RVs actually sell at the show. Like I said a minute ago, they all come back to Gainesville. They get PDI'd, so pre-delivery inspection. One of my guys is then go through and inspect everything on the RV to make sure it's exactly the way it's supposed to be. Then from there, we have one of our technicians teach you how to use it. We give you a very thorough walkthrough. So we spend as much time with you as you need to go through the RV, teach you how to use everything. And then we put you up for the first 2 nights at a campground. This is the same campground, Scott, that you always camp at, Santa Fe Palms RV Resort. You love that.
I got my 2 favorite spots.
Yep. Yeah, you have 2 spots every time you go. But so that's something we do with every sale, whether it's at a show, whether you call in, or whether you walk into the dealership. And then we still guarantee you service appointments within 5 days, tech support. We pick up the RV from you, bring it to the dealership, deliver it back to you. So all of our perks, everything, a free year of Harvest Host, all of that still comes with the purchase, whether it's at the show, whether it's at the dealership, no matter where it is. You know, some dealerships kind of say, oh, at a show, the rules are different and prices are different. You know, we don't play that game. We don't charge any dealer fees, any dock fees, any prep fees, whether you buy it at a show or not. We're the same person. I'm the same person, Scott, sitting here in my living room talking to you, sitting at the dealership or sitting at a show. I don't change. You've known me for 5-6 years now. I feel like I'm the same guy, right?
Well, this is getting a little more white, but yes, other than that.
Well, this is getting a little thinner. Yes.
Yeah, it does look good for date night. Yeah, I hear Matt's even saying, because you mentioned it, make an impressive modern art backdrop. So appreciate that.
I asked my wife, I said, baby, normally I do this in an RV. Where's the best place for me to do it? And we still have our Christmas tree up, and Scott's been making fun of me about it. I wanted to do it in front of the Christmas tree, and she said, no, it's in January. Christmas, we're not doing Christmas trees. This is the spot. So I'm sitting on my table with some art behind. My wife's an interior designer, so, you know, she's very proud of her.
She does a good job. Well, just thanks again. We just wanted to, 15, 20 minutes of your time. This is a good, here's Sherry saying, keep the date night super important. You got to do Mrs. Schmidt maintenance, right?
Yes.
So hopefully anyway, going to see a nice movie tonight.
Yes. We're going to go eat some sushi and hang out. So it's going to be a good night. I see a couple of questions, Scott. I did, what's the typical wait time for a Class B RV? There's not a lot of wait times right now. If typically, all of the supply chain issues have been solved, and so there's a lot. I mean, like there's a lot of available things. So you're not having to pick the RV based upon wait times, which is a great place for the consumer, because 2 years ago you picked based on what was available at that moment. But now it's like you pick what you want. What's the best for you that you can afford, that's going to fit your lifestyle, what you want. Because I mean, outside of a few specialty things, wait times are within 1 to 3 months would be typical.
Yeah. So since there's a couple more in here, let's see.
Name a good 4-season Class B or B plus. So, Chinook B pluses are like Timberline, and Truma cold weather certified for their 4 seasons. I know road trucks are made up in Canada, so you got to think those Canadians, they know what they're doing when it comes to cold weather. The Coachman Galleria is rated down to about 5 degrees Fahrenheit, which is stinking cold. I never want to be in 5 degrees weather ever. So those are some good ones that I'd recommend. Coachman does a couple different ways that they insulate their vans, which is really top notch. Mark just asked about Novu being at the show, so there will be a Novu. The owners of Novu are coming to the show, and they will have a Novu van there. It's our van. They are not in the show. They will be in the parking lot. So yes, they will be at the show, though. The owners will. And so if you have a desire to see a Novu, which is a pretty new Class B van that we're carrying, pretty cool. Scott, you haven't seen one yet, have you?
Not in person.
Your friends Neil and Kirby, or not Neil and Kirby.
Neil and Britt.
Yes.
And Teresa.
Yes. Yep. A few of them have bought them, and they're loving them. they're great. I love the guys at Nobu. They're French guys. It's a little hard for me to understand them sometimes.
Bonjour.
Yes.
Bonjour.
Yes. Beyond the Fern just got hers. That is correct.
Yes, that's Teresa. I call her Frisco Tea. She's so great. All right. So that's some of these other ones I can address here with some of the other information. I'm going to flash this up. So we're going to talk about tickets, parking, trolleys, not trolleys. Hopefully I spelled that right. And some other things. So stay right there. Nick, just again, thank you for taking a few minutes on date night to join us. We'll see you in just a few days. It's pretty crazy. It's like, I know. Unbelievable. Cheers, sir. Appreciate that. That's a date night warm up right there, right?
Yeah, I know. I got to go drive to date night now. Luckily, I've only had 2 or 3 sips.
So great.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it. We'll check in with you before the show, but we'll see you next week for sure. Super excited.
Sounds good, Scott. I look forward to spending time with you next week. We will be in Tampa Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all day. We will be there. The weather's supposed to be beautiful, a little chilly, but sunny, no rain. That's the biggest thing, no rain. So it will be a little chilly though, which isn't bad. And yeah, we'll be having lunch. We'll be hanging out. So stop by, say hi to Scott, say hi to myself. We'll be there. This is definitely the funnest week of my working year. My vacation, at least my family, are definitely fun. But this is my funnest working week of the year. So we have a blast. Yeah, stop by Road Check Westphalia, and love to see everybody.
That'd be great. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, buddy. See you next week.
Yes, sir. I don't know how to hang up, so you got to kick me out.
I will kick you out, right? Banned from studio. Kick from studio. Thank you, man. There we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. He is so knowledgeable. He's just the real deal, and I just love working with them. And I hope we can make some big announcements at the Super Show. So what I wanted to do is just say hi to some folks quick, and then I want to get into 2 more bits of information here. I got some pretty good information here for you that if you haven't been, will save you a lot of frustration. I promise you. And if you have been, you'll probably pick up on a couple of these and go, oh yeah. I got an eye chart there, and then we're going to talk about some floor plans and systems, some ideas there for you. So don't go anywhere. Let me just say hi. There we go to some folks right there. Make sure everything's lined up. So we got Roads of Life in. He was kind of early in tonight. Appreciate that. Here's Bill and Joe. Thank you for being here, gentlemen. Appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's the Super Show, then there's a Florida Van or Space Coast Van Fest, and then the Peace Loving Vans. And here's Roger and Jane. That Peace Loving Vans in March. We have that team coming on the show next month. 21 degrees, burr. Matt is in home base, North Carolina. Feels like temperature minus 45. Golly, I hope not. Here's Amira in the house. Appreciate that. Road Trek Motorhomes is here. Thank you for being here. Road Trek Motorhomes. That was cool. This is great. Hey, Kylie, what's up? You may have seen Kylie. We worked with her and her team at the August Rally Home Road Trek 50th anniversary. So glad to have you here, man. That's so awesome. Here's Sherry's in the house. Cold, cold, cold. Colder than a well digger's butt in the middle of January. Says a guy from Texas. Pretty funny. There's David in the house. It's pretty cold up there. Here's Sunny, James Young from sunny Iowa. Probably pretty chilly there. Here's Bobby, Steve, and Wilbur. Love that. That's so great. Here's David. Did I say that already? Yeah. Murder Jack saying hello. Justin in the house. Appreciate you being here. Tuning in from Palm Coast, Florida. That's just up the road from where I am in West Palm Beach. Looking forward to seeing some new and updated floor plans at the show next week. Yeah, it's I'm really excited too. Winnebago's kind of sprung the box open. They're going to have 2 new Travado floor plans, so I'm super interested in that. Here's Greg Johnson in the house. Good to see you, sir, from Wheeling, Illinois. Here's Amira. I've got some ice cold milk. You know, I kind of miss the Chicago cold winters. When it gets down to around 0, you can go out and throw a glass of or like a mug of hot water or something in the air, and it just kind of vaporizes. It's pretty cool. Your nose hairs freeze right when you bring them in. Here's Eric in the house. Eric and Beth in Southern California, 2021 Winnebago Travado GL. That'd be a good thing to add to my tell us about you. Is what van do you have or want to have? Costco. I paid $2.93 for gas at Costco yesterday. Not going to RV show, hoping to get there next year. It'll be the first time. We're doing a lot of live streams from the show, so you'll want to call in sick. Here's Selena from Nevada. Our panoramic RV vans there. My sister wants one of them. No, they are not going to be there. Unfortunately, they're a very nice van. Here's Van Can Do. Ken and Mike mentioned in fall that Road Trek was coming out with a Ford all-wheel drive chassis. We will find out next week. And let's see. Try and look for. Here's Bill. We said hello. Well, you get there right there. Gumbo bakes pies. So maybe we can do a go small, live large. Bake. Oh, here you go. Janie says, come on, Nick. Watching the Northern Lights by the fire pit at 10 below is great. I think I'll watch a YouTube video. All right, let me get into some tips here. I think you will find these helpful. Here we go. So tickets are $15 per person. Children under 16 are free. And it gets you in for 2 days. My recommendation is to go early if you can, either on opening day Wednesday or Thursday, because as the weekend gets closer and during the weekend, it's crazy. Weirdly, Sunday, late morning, they're open till 4, I think, on Sunday. They open every day at 9, the Super Show does. So if you kind of went and you want to go back Sunday afternoon, it's really pretty quiet. So that would be another tip, is go early Wednesday, Thursday, or on Sunday. Parking is good for one time. The fairgrounds owns the parking lot, not the Super Show. So it's general parking is $10. RV parking is $16. There is no overnight parking in the general parking lot. And again, it's the parking is good for 1 day only. So you'll pay 2 days for parking for one ticket to the show. My understanding is the show is pet friendly. I've seen dogs before if they're well behaved. I don't know if it's a service animal only or general dogs, but I've seen a lot of dogs in the past there. They do have trolleys. It's these little kind of train car things that stop in various places and in the parking lot and inside the show. So if you're tired of walking or you want to ride out to your vehicle parked out in the parking lot, because it's expansive, you'll pick up one of those, and that's how you will get around with less mileage on your feet. Let me see if I can show you this. I want to show you some tips on the map. How can I do this? I'll go me small. So again, what I've done here, and what I would recommend you do, is go to their website. I'll show you the website here in a second, or it's better just to Google it, Florida RV SuperShow. It pops right up. They have kind of a weird URL. I would recommend printing out the map and then kind of color coding where you want to go. Again, as we alluded with Nick, the red boxes are his displays. The boxes that are outlined in black are other vans. And if you look right here, so this is Pleasure Way. They get the same spot every year. This is Airstream, and then this is Wingham. They're in a pretty good spot. They paid a lot of money for that. So this is where they're going to have 2, if not 3, of their vehicles right here, Wingham. Up here, Storyteller. And then this is Sunshine State RVs. This is Thor Motor Coach. And they have a whole bunch down here, too. These are usually vans. Over here's the Winnebago vans down here. And then Sunshine State RVs again. And this is 27 North. This is a newish. They do expedition trucks and adventure vans. And then over here is Leisure Travel Van. They're kind of tucked in the corner here. So if you're kind of curious about the bigger B pluses, leisure travel vans here, and this is Coach House right here. I should have marked them. They do vans as well. So a couple of things you really want to, what's nice is, again, all the van stuff is just right here. Unless you want to go see the big trailers and stuff, you don't want to go out here, which is a long way away from over here. These are restrooms that I have kind of outlined in red. Here's a hot tip secret. They're kind of scattered all about, but this one way up here, conveniently placed near the Westphalia booth, this one right here, it is off the beaten path. It overlooks the little pond here. There's some chow. There's even a bar here, I think. This is the restroom that is not well used and is the cleanest, the quietest, and maybe the most private. These other ones are in the middle, and they're just overrun. They do take pretty good care of them, but if you're kind of put this into your trajectory, this is a bathroom experience that you'll probably thank me for later. Food is kind of scattered throughout. They're kind of all around here. My advice on the food situation is, certainly if you're bringing your RV or if you're bringing your car, like a lot of fair food, it's super nutritious, very delicious, low in sodium, low in fat, and it's expensive. It's expensive. In fact, the beers are expensive too. So what I would do is, if you're staying for the better part of the day or coming back the next day, is kind of pack a picnic and scamper off to your car or RV and eat, and then come back in. We want to support the local merchants, of course, but if you're feeding a family of 4, you'll run up a tab pretty quick. They won't let you in with food, I don't think, but you have to run out to your vehicle. Let's see what else I wanted. So let's talk about camping. It's a little strange the way they do the camping. Every year it changes a little bit. Now this year they've got a special section. It's $500 a. I think I have it right here. Yeah, let me put this up. It's $400 without electrical hookup. The with electrical hookup is sold out, so you will have no electricity plus shore power. And this does give you for $400 parking. It does not include. It does include a 5-day wristband to get into the show, so that's not too bad. If you go to their website, again, just Google it, Florida RV SuperShow. There's camping, and this is the actual tickets to stay in the campground. And they make it somewhat easy to get in from the campground, but if you got a good lithium system, or it's going to be pretty chilly, as Nick alluded to, so you won't need air conditioning for sure, which is the great thing there. All right, let me see. I wanted to share a couple tips with you on find my slide. Hang tight, folks. And back to this one real quick, is to be prepared. What I'm talking about there is be prepared for the weather, and wear comfortable shoes. I would not recommend flip-flops or something like that, because you'll be walking many miles, and if you're not used to that, you will wear yourself out. I mentioned printing out the map and then circling things you want to see, and then marking them off as you go. I would also recommend, if you're pretty serious about a van or an RV of some type, is to do some measuring of your home base area as to where the van might be parked. So what is the length, width, height of the van you might be interested in, and then how will a space near your home, maybe in the backyard or by the storage barn, accommodate that? Because nothing's more frustrating as you get there and you're like, will it fit? I don't know. So I'd really take some measurements, take some photographs of home base to help you get a much better visual, because you're going to get overloaded with so many RVs. I would also, at the same time, measure your garage. If you have a tall garage, will the van fit? Some of these do fit in a regular sized garage, some of these small ones without AC. So measure your garage. Then I also give a peek to where can you put a outlet, 30 amp ideally, on the exterior of your residence, so that you can plug into shore power. I know many of you have done that. Had an electrician come in and put a power source that you can plug your van into next to the house. Pretty cool. And along the same lines, what about fresh water and waste? I finally got a dump station at my own one of the Airbnb properties. Can't tell you how nice that is. So again, what's it going to take to run a drain line from the cleanout you already probably have? So again, take a picture of that. How close is that to your where your van is going to be parked, ideally, just so you can really be informed and not guesstimating when you get there. Fair. The other thing I would do for show prep is, well, I think I'll do that on the next slide. Okay, how are we doing so far? I'm doing on time. Oh, we're doing pretty good. Really appreciate you being here. And the other thing I would kind of recommend is, so if you're kind of new, I saw some folks are coming to the show the first time this year or next year, is really kind of think through, why do you want to travel? Are you traveling to save money, like a full-timer, or are you traveling to discover and explore? I would think through some of those types of questions with your spouse. Are you on the same page? And then why a van? Again, you're going to be overwhelmed with the types of recreational vehicles that are available. If you've been in a towable, so you're towing it behind a truck, maybe you're looking at a van to have a single vehicle, or maybe it's the other way around. You've had a van, it's too small, and it's you want something a little bit different. So again, kind of think through why a van. You can park anywhere, you can drive anywhere. The freedom is legitimately over the top. You get someplace, you put it in park, and you're at camp. So that is pretty awesome. Let me talk through a couple items here, and just to give you a sense. Again, Class A, RVs come in three different classes. A is the big bus, B is the van. A B plus is kind of an extended van, either in length and or width, usually both. A C, I think technically there's a bed over the cab. Those are very distinct, quite large generally. And then a C plus is like what they call them the super Cs. That's on like a Freightliner chassis. It's got a big footprint and need a big wallet. So those are kind of the motorized motorhomes. So be aware of those. And kind of think through the lithium versus generator. Watch some videos on YouTube. I've done many. And kind of think, again, why a van? Freedom. If you have to go to shore power to plug in and not run your generator, is that limiting your freedom? Is having unbridled freedom by having a lithium system run the AC all night long? That's pretty cool. So kind of think through some of those. You're going to see a lot of pop tops. These kind of started showing up a 3 years ago. And now I think every brand has a pop top. So think about, who do you want to travel with? Do you want to travel with the kids, the grandkids, cousins? Maybe you're going on a fishing trip with a buddy. You don't want to share a bed space down below, so one goes upstairs, up ladder. Kind of think about hard top versus pop top. I think a pop top has a lot more flexibility. Now, I've actually spent the night in one. I really like it. And if I was to go buy a van again, I'd buy a pop top just because of the flexibility. And if you're even traveling solo, you kind of scamper up the ladder, and if the weather is nice, you get this really different experience of kind of having a tent with windows and bug screens on top of your van. I really liked my overnight experience in the Zion Slumber by Road Track. So think through that. And then the bed arrangement. What's your bed arrangement at home? Do you get up in the middle of the night to use the toilet? So there's a lot of bed arrangement decisions to be made. Do you want a power sofa that does one of these things? Is it 2 twin beds in the back? Maybe it's a Murphy bed. Maybe it's a powered bed. So a lot of those. Kind of think through how you'd want to sleep, either solo or with your spouse, and then with people. How many will it seat? How many will it sleep? The current G floor plan, you can travel 4, but really sleep 1, maybe 2. So I'm hoping to see some changes there. And then on solar energy, just think about that. So a lot of salespeople will talk about solar and how great it is. And it is great. But it won't charge a battery to run the AC. So if they're trying to sell you on solar, the problem with vans is there's limited acreage on top of the van. So 200 or 300 watts is about all you get. So if you want to have a good solar charging situation, does that van have a solar array port? You plug in exterior panels in the sunlight, and then you're getting 300, 400, 500, 600 watts maybe from the total array. And that is meaningful, not to charge the battery for AC, but to run very long on direct current devices. So think through solar and be realistic about it. And the same with toilets. There's a lot of toilet options. There's the cassette toilet, which is like a rollaway suitcase. They're usually very small in capacity, about 5 gallons. There's a wet flush, a traditional toilet that wet flushes into a black waste tank, and you have to go empty it. Gray water is another waste tank. Composting toilets. Maybe it doesn't have a toilet at all, or you got these little tiny baby toilets like that come in a storyteller, which now has a cassette toilet in one of the models, which is pretty cool. So again, just kind of think through it. How do you want to travel in comfort? And I think that will help you get some of your reduce some of that anxiety is what I was trying to say. The other thing I would recommend, and this is kind of my last thing on this, is we've done a number of videos over the years where I have some kind of non-negotiable things that are part of my van life travel day in, day out. My coffee pot, my little 5 cup drip coffee maker. Will the fridge accommodate, or freezer accommodate, a bag of ice? Where are you going to stuff the bedding if you're going to have one of these convertible bed things? So kind of think through those items, measure them maybe, and have a list. And as you're kind of going around, see if those items will fit in the cupboards. Wouldn't it be frustrating? You buy a $150,000 van and you figure out you can't fit your coffee maker in it. Just saying. So be a smart shopper. This audience is awesome because you guys are all, and gals are all, smart shoppers. So let's look for a few more comments here, and hopefully that was helpful. Give a thumb up if that was helpful at all. And it's just a pleasure to have you here. So here's Ranger saying Nouveau Light looks like a copied panoramic. They're very similar, and I'm excited to see. I have not seen a Nouveau in person yet. I have seen a panoramic. They're very nice. I'm hoping to see more front lounge great rooms like what I'm sitting in. I'm sitting on a jump seat in my Travado. So we'll see what I come up with. Here's Road Trek saying, I think we win at 6 degrees Fahrenheit here in Canada. Yeah, that's pretty chilly. Oh my gosh. Here's Brian saying, we'll see you next week. Yeah, I'm bringing stickers, and it's gonna be a hoot. So here's Old Pueblo Vegan, Tucson, Arizona. Love Tucson. One of my favorite. Best thing about Tucson is Wilcox, Arizona is just like an hour away, hour and a half away. Tucson, Arizona here. Would love to see a Class B setup for bringing a dog along. Real windy out there in Tucson. Yes, you're going to see a video that posts tomorrow. I'm going to try and get all 3 of these out in the next 3 days of my overnight experience, Old Pueblo and the Westphalia Wave. And if you want a great dog setup, that's a perfect van, in my opinion. So watch for that. You can have a dog bed under your bed. They're completely out of your way, and they have their own space, which I'm sure they will appreciate. Yeah, Charlie Grace is going to be there. That's cool. Charlie, we'll see you there. And we'll see if we can sneak in for a little YouTube live. That would be kind of fun, right? She's a great gal. She had a cool podcast the other night, or the podcast guest. Let's see, what else do I have for you folks? Said howdy. So next week, I'm going to be broadcasting the show from the SuperShow. So it's all about vans. And I'm super excited. It's going to be a busy week. I've never done this before, so it's going to be super awesome. And so let me just kind of cruise through here, see if there's anything else. I think I got everything. I'm actually going to finish up a video right after this. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And supporting me, supporting the channel, supporting each other. So a lot of comments about that tonight. That's super great. We'll do this again next Wednesday from the SuperShow at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we've got a whirlwind of activities with Road Trek, Sunshine State RVs, Wingham. We're going to be the first ones to drive a Wingham on American soil that's not part of the company. We got a lot going on, so it's going to be a big week. So thank you very much. Everybody stay warm. We know it's chilly out there in a lot of places, including Florida, where it's going to be a very balmy 47 degrees tonight. Now, the Floridians think that's 14 below, just so you know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. We'd like to say, get your journey on, and peace be with you. We'll see you very soon. Thanks for being there. Appreciate it. Good night. Right this way, Scott. Which way is... Oh, here's my fingernail update. Where'd it go? Ow! Ask me about that next week. Bye.